For over 40 years, one name has defined what it means to go off-road in America. Now, for the first time ever, that name is about to go fully electric, and a brand new challenger is already standing in its way. Jeep is preparing to send the Wrangler into its most radical transformation in history. But Scout Motors, backed by decades of off-road heritage and over 150,000 reservations already in hand, isn't waiting around to find out if Jeep gets it right. Today, we're putting the 2027 Scout Traveler against the upcoming Jeep Wrangler EV, two completely different paths to the same question. What does the future of American off-roading actually look like? Stay until the end because the answer might surprise you more than you think. Welcome to AutoMaster Drive, where we bring you the future of cars before they hit the road. If you love future cars, luxury rides, and the latest automotive innovations, make sure to subscribe to AutoMaster Drive and turn on notifications. Let's get into it. The timeline gap that changes the whole picture. Before we get into specs, there's something critical you need to know. These two vehicles aren't actually arriving at the same time. The Scout Traveler is on track for production starting in 2027, with customer deliveries expected in 2028, built at Scout's brand new factory in South Carolina. The Jeep Wrangler EV, meanwhile, isn't expected to enter production until 2028, with Stellantis confirming the current gas-powered Wrangler will continue selling alongside it well into that year. That means Scout is positioned to reach driveways first, giving it a real first-mover advantage in the electric off-roader space. For decades, Jeep has owned this category outright. For the first time, a serious challenger could beat them to market with a fully electric alternative. Does arriving first actually matter in a category this loyal to tradition? Let's find out what each vehicle is actually bringing to the fight. Two companies, two completely different stories. This comparison is really a story about two very different paths to the same goal. Scout Motors is a brand new company, revived by Volkswagen Group specifically to bring back the spirit of the original 1960s and 70s International Harvester Scout. Everything about the Traveler is being built from a blank sheet of paper, purpose-built for electric power from day one. Jeep, on the other hand, is trying to electrify a 40-plus-year icon without losing what made it legendary in the first place. That's an enormous engineering challenge. Jeep's own executives have publicly stated they want the electric Wrangler to push the brand's internal trail rating even higher than today's gas model, not lower. One company has nothing to lose and everything to prove. The other has everything to lose and a legacy to protect. Which pressure produces a better vehicle? Let's look at how each one is actually built.
Build philosophy. Body on frame meets body on frame. Here's something that might surprise you. Both of these vehicles are committing to genuine body-on-frame construction, a rarity in the EV world, where most manufacturers default to unibody platforms for efficiency. The Scout Traveler shares its dedicated body-on-frame chassis with the Terra pickup, featuring a solid rear axle and locking differentials front and rear. The Jeep Wrangler EV is expected to use Stellantis' STLA frame platform, the same body-on-frame electric architecture being developed for heavy-duty trucks, specifically chosen to preserve the Wrangler's removable doors, fold-down windshield, and serious trail capability. Neither company took the easy road here. Both are proving that true off-road capability and electric power don't have to be mutually exclusive, even though it's a far more expensive and complex way to build an EV. So if both are committed to real off-road bones, what actually separates them? Let's talk about range and how each one handles the biggest EV anxiety of all.
Range anxiety has always haunted serious off-road EVs, and both companies are solving it differently. The Scout Traveler's standard electric version targets up to 350 miles per charge, with an optional Harvester range extending system capable of pushing total range beyond 500 miles, a gas generator that keeps the battery topped up without ever plugging into the drivetrain directly. The Jeep Wrangler EV is expected to follow a similar two-path strategy, offering both a pure battery electric version and a range-extended variant Stellantis internally calls REPB, which stands for Range Electric Paradigm Breaker. Both companies have clearly reached the same conclusion. Serious off-road buyers in remote areas aren't ready to fully commit to pure electric range yet. The fact that two competing companies independently arrived at the exact same range extender solution tells you everything about where the entire off-road EV segment is heading in 2027 and beyond. Let's see how fast each one can recharge when it's time to plug in.
Charging and power. What we know so far. Charging details for the Wrangler EV remain limited since Jeep hasn't released official specs yet, but it's expected to ride on Stellantis' STLA frame platform, the same architecture being built to support large battery packs and serious power delivery for heavy-duty applications. The Scout Traveler, by contrast, already has confirmed specs: DC fast charging up to 350 kilowatts, NACS charging port compatibility for access to Tesla's supercharger network, and vehicle-to-load capability for powering tools or campsites directly from the truck's battery. Scout's transparency here gives it a real credibility advantage right now, simply because buyers can see exactly what they're getting. Jeep still has time to reveal stronger numbers before production begins, but for today, Scout is the only one of these two putting hard numbers on the table. That brings us to the back half of this list, where things get a lot more emotional than technical.
What we expect from both performance. Performance numbers for the Wrangler EV are still under wraps, but Jeep's concept vehicles give us a real hint of what's coming. The Wrangler Magneto 3.0 concept, Jeep's most advanced electric Wrangler prototype to date, produces 650 horsepower and 900 pound-feet of torque from a bespoke electric motor. If even a fraction of that makes production, the Wrangler EV could be shockingly quick for a vehicle built around rock crawling, not racing. The Scout Traveler, sharing its powertrain with the Terra pickup, targets a 0 to 60 time of around 3.5 seconds with up to 1,000 pound-feet of torque in its dual-motor configuration. Both vehicles are proving the same point from different directions. Electric power doesn't just match traditional off-roader performance, it potentially obliterates it. The real test won't be a drag strip, it'll be a rock crawl. Let's talk about where these vehicles are actually designed to go.
Off-road capability, the category that defines this entire comparison. This is the category both companies are building their entire reputation around. The Scout Traveler comes with up to 12 inches of ground clearance, front and rear locking differentials, a front sway bar disconnect system, and water fording capability up to 3 feet, specs that would make any traditional off-roader proud. The Jeep Wrangler EV has an even higher bar to clear. Jeep's own leadership has stated they want to push the Wrangler's internal trail rating from 10 to 12 with the next generation, explicitly promising that electrification won't compromise capability. Jeep also plans to retain the Wrangler's removable doors, fold-down windshield, and four-wheel drive heritage, features the Traveler doesn't attempt to replicate. So this becomes a fascinating split. Scout is building serious off-road capability into a more conventional SUV body, while Jeep is trying to preserve a genuinely unconventional, open-air off-road experience that's never existed in electric form before. Which approach to off-road freedom matters more to you? Let's look at what's happening with styling and identity.
Design and identity, reviving one legacy versus reinventing another. Both of these vehicles carry enormous emotional weight, just from different eras. The Scout Traveler resurrects design language straight from the original 1960s and 1970s International Harvester Scout. Boxy, upright, and unmistakably retro, built to feel instantly familiar to anyone who remembers the original. The Jeep Wrangler EV faces a much harder challenge. It has to electrify a vehicle whose silhouette, 7-slot grille, and round headlights have remained recognizable for over 80 years without breaking that identity. Jeep's concepts so far have stayed remarkably faithful to that classic shape, suggesting the brand understands exactly how much risk comes with changing it. Scout gets to introduce a beloved design to a brand new generation. Jeep has to modernize a design an entire generation already loves without losing a single longtime fan in the process. Which is the harder job, and which company do you think is better positioned to pull it off? That brings us to the technology shaping how each one actually drives.
Technology. Two companies betting on different strengths. Scout enters this fight as the more software-forward newcomer, building a clean, dual-screen interior and over-the-air update capability from scratch, unburdened by decades of legacy systems. Jeep, through Stellantis, brings something different: years of real-world 4xe plug-in hybrid data, an established Uconnect infotainment ecosystem, and direct lessons learned from the current Wrangler's electric capabilities already on the road today. Stellantis' broader STLA frame platform is also being engineered specifically to handle heavy-duty towing and payload demands, suggesting serious investment in making the Wrangler EV genuinely capable, not just electrified for the sake of it. Scout is betting that a fresh start beats inherited complexity. Jeep is betting that real-world experience beats a clean slate. Both bets are reasonable. Only one will prove correct once these vehicles actually reach customers. That brings us to the verdict on this entire comparison.
The verdict. America's off-road future has two paths: Here's the answer we promised you at the start. The Scout Traveler currently has the advantage of being further along, with confirmed specs, a 2027 production start, and over 150,000 reservations already proving real market demand. The Jeep Wrangler EV still has the advantage of decades of trust, an off-road reputation few brands can match, and Jeep's explicit promise to make this electric Wrangler more capable than ever, not less. Neither vehicle should be counted out. Scout has momentum, but Jeep has a legacy that electric power alone cannot erase overnight. If both companies deliver exactly what they're promising, American off-road enthusiasts won't have to choose between heritage and innovation in 2027 and 2028. For the first time, they'll genuinely get both, just from two different directions. The real winner here might not be either company. It might be every off-road driver in America who finally gets to go electric without giving up what made these vehicles legendary in the first place. So tell us, does the future of off-roading belong to Scout's fresh start or Jeep's reinvention? Drop your verdict in the comments below.
If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, subscribe, and join the AutoMaster Drive community as we continue driving the future of cars together.